Okay, so I'm totally on this like DIY t-shirt yarn kick right now. It's super empowering to actually like see how much you can create yourself from essentially upcycling and refashioning your old clothes and creating something new out of the ashes of the remnants, if you will. I don't know, this is just like super inspiring. And the only limits are your imagination. My first attempts at creating t-shirt yarn, I intentionally chose to use old shirts that had side seams. Now that I've like figured that out and seen the results of that, it's not impossible to make t-shirt yarn out of those types of shirts, but it's a little bit more challenging and takes more time. Now I get to move on to the easier and more fun part of this t-shirt yarn DIY adventure that I'm on, using shirts that do not have the side seam. It was a custom shirt that I made, trying out my heat press, doing different designs and experimenting with different manufacturers, t-shirt manufacturers, and sourcing the garments for Prevael. And I held on to these as like, oh, remember when? Yeah, no, now we're actually going to put these old rags to use and give them new life. These shirts do not have a side seam, which is awesome because now we're going to be able to make a continuous loop of t-shirt yarn. Now we don't have to worry about the side seams. Yeah, that is fantastic. You'll notice when you upcycle and refashion your old garments and apparel. For example, with shirts, generally the back of the shirt is going to be just a smidge longer than the front of the shirt, or sometimes it might be vice versa. But let's get this hem out of the way. Keep this around. It'll come in handy later, trust me. Okay, this is another unibody t-shirt. This is what I mean by not having the side seams. You get to have one continuous piece of fabric for your t-shirt yarn. Your stretch direction, you have way more stretch horizontally as opposed to vertical stretch, okay? It's important to make note of that. Now I turn the shirt and the threads are now running from left to right, horizontal as opposed to vertical. We are not going to cut through. We do not want to cut through this. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Keep that. I'm just going to eyeball it. An inch it is, okay? For each strip. I'm going to keep that intact. That's essentially the spine.